and Paul, they're coming off of Basic Instinct, and so it was a big deal. I think there was a big buzz around this. And then, they cast kind of two unknowns, or, unknown-ish enough, because a lot of people were after my part, and I'm assuming Elizabeth's as well. But yeah, I think they thought it was gonna be a big, huge movie. And then I walked on set and I was like, wait, what? Oh, I could write a whole book on that. I don't want to have a whole conversation about Showgirls, so you could read my book when it comes out.
I will read your book when it comes out, and we won't have a whole conversation about Showgirls, but just wonder.
So many things to talk about.
We have a lot more things to talk about than Showgirls, yes. But I just wanted to ask you, like, when this movie came out, and then it was, so like critically panned, which it was, and then it went on to video and made a gazillion dollars, and now it's this cult classic. Like, take me through that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it came out and everyone's like, this is a horrible movie. Like, when you were making it, did you think like, this is a horrible movie, the critics are going to hate this? And now it's one of the biggest cult classics ever, and it's brilliant, and it's beyond withstood the test.
Quentin Tarantino came right out and said, I love Showgirls. I'll always love Quentin for that, because when everyone was like just in like lambasting and like, oh, this is terrible, people secretly were like, I kind of like it. I'm like, so why are you whispering? It was my first real experience in Hollywood that people are just hypocrites and full of shit, and they just, it's trial by mob, and it's sadly it still is. Because more often than not, people were like saying, we really like it. I'm like, okay, so why do you have to write bad things about it? But that's what you're supposed to do, unless you're a brave guy like Quentin saying, what are you talking about? I love this film. I never loved the film myself. So it was, part of me is like, you don't have to tell me. I know what's wrong with it. Because I just, in my head, I thought it would be a very different film. I could watch it now and appreciate it. Listen, Paul's a very good film. He's a great filmmaker, and it's bold and it's in your face. Going into it, just thought it was gonna be a very different sort of part. And a different sort of atmosphere and a different sort of film. And so I just changed my way. I was very serious. I was thinking Paul Verhoeven, like Dutch films. I was going like Spetter, Soldier of Orange. I was going dark, European, deep. And when I got to the set, it's like, uh-oh, okay, throw that idea away. I got to turn it around and do something else. So I wasn't surprised. I was surprised how venomous people got. But I also thought, between Joe and Paul, they had a lot of hubris, and they went about the marketing and everything all wrong. So I think we got what we deserved, and it was stupid. It should have never been an NC-17. It's like, cut out 8 seconds worth of whateverness and make it an R film. Everyone just took it so seriously. And it was like, why are we taking this so seriously? Let's make it fun and let people enjoy it, So I thought of it very differently than, I think I was in a different film. I don't know.
I remember at the time, like, oh my God, like, what's an NC-17? Like, I've never heard of this in my life. I think that's the film for me where I learned what NC-17 was.
And it was, and I learned about America and the code system. And because the truth is, that movie should have never been NC-17, right? I mean, it was NC-17 because of the nudity. And I kept thinking, this is so strange. You could show someone, like, if we cut off her breast, it would be R, but if we show it, it's going to be NC-17. And I think that's fundamentally wrong. Especially in America, that's a certain code. And then, I did another movie, Bound, that they were like, oh, this could be NC-17 because there was a love scene between the two girls. But as soon as they turned it into a hardcore sex scene, it was fine. I thought, oh, wait, so women aren't allowed to make love, but they could have sex. Then that's okay. That could be R. So I thought that was quite sad. And then I finally did an NC-17 movie that I went, oh yeah, there should be NC-17, when I did Killer Joe, Friedkin's film, because it's so violent. Even I'm like this, I'm like hiding at times. And so when that was NC-17, I'm like, yeah, this should be. I mean, I don't think nudity should be NC-17. I think violence should, but look at the world we live in, Now it's like we watch violence on the news every night. So everyone's gotten so used to things. It's terrible.
I was gonna say, I mean, like if Showgirls came out now, it probably wouldn't be NC-17.
It'd be PG. Are you kidding? I mean, look at the shows on TV now, it's like, it would be maybe probably be PG, maybe PG-13. I don't even think it would make an R.
Seriously.
I mean, really, I'm not even being sarcastic. It's true.
Seriously. We will move on. This is my last question. Was there another actress that was like almost, Naomi that you know of, or like Crystal, like you said, like a lot of people wanted this part? Like, were you neck and neck with someone like that we know of? Like, oh my God, so-and-so was almost that part.
I don't think so. Or I wasn't aware of it, No, I never heard, oh, it's between you and so-and-so. I always heard like big names, like going after it. And I just couldn't think about it. I knew it was my part. I'm just like, just do your job and I'll get this. This is my part. Because I just
Wow.
sometimes you have to be in that mindset. Else you'll drive yourself crazy.
Right. Like what big names did you hear?
Oh, gosh, I don't remember. I saw Madonna for some reason, but maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. I think I could be getting movies confused. Do that sometimes.
Interesting.
But no, I remember people. I remember hearing about people. I don't know. You'd have to look it up. I don't want to give the wrong names.
Interesting. Well, you mentioned Bound, which was a brilliant movie.
Bound, I love. Bound is a great movie.
What was it like? What was that experience like? You and Jennifer Tilly had such chemistry in that. What was it like working with her?
Easy, fun. We laughed all the time. I love Jennifer. She's one of the few people that I remain friends with, and I love her. She's a great girl. She's a great gal, as they say.
Why do you love Bound? Like, what was it about that experience? Like, what was so great about that? I mean, it's a great movie, one of my absolute favorites, but
because this is coming right off of Showgirls, and everyone was like, we have to get you in a huge movie now. We're gonna make you into this big movie star, blah, blah, blah. And I kept thinking, get me into a movie that I show that I really act like before this movie comes out. Because I secretly knew what was gonna happen. I'm like, this isn't gonna be what you think, So I was nervous. So I just wanted to show that I was a real actress. Even though I worked really hard in Showgirls, it became apparent, like, if you're not really good in this, you're done. Like, this is, I was aware of that part. So when Bound came up, I'm like, oh my God, I get to cut off my hair, cut off my nails, put on like boxer makeup, basically, or, and, play the part of the traditional guy, which I hadn't seen written before. I said, oh my God, I get to be the hero. Like all those movies like Monty Cliff or,